Well, I mentioned in my video the other day that I had just purchased a new gun, and here it is. For those of you that can read upside down, that is Reb Nick, which would be backwards would be Kimber. So as you can see, it is a Kimber. I had been saving for an Ed Brown, and I have a friend who has an Ed Brown and had him bring it to the range the other day so I could shoot it. And he did bring his Ed Brown, but he also brought another gun with him when he brought the Ed Brown that I wasn't expecting. And that gun was a Kimber Raptor. Really liked the gun, fell in love with it, and in some ways liked it more than the Ed Brown. I'm not going to lie, I like the Ed Brown a little bit more, but when you consider the Ed Brown's a $2,500 gun, and this gun is an $1,100 gun, $1,400. Did I like the Ed Brown $1,400 more at the moment? Nope, I didn't. So I bought a Kimber Stainless Pro Raptor 2. Like I said, shot both of them that day. Fell in love with his Raptor. And I've seen Ebomi with one, and I know Pete had one before he bought his, from the Armory channel, had one before he bought his Ed Brown, so I figured I might as well go the same path, get me a Kimber first. First 1911 I ever bought myself was a Kimber. It was a Kimber Pro Carry 2, but it had the aluminum frame, so I ended up getting rid of it because of the aluminum frame. But I'll give a little close-up look at this gun, tell you what I liked about this gun and why I bought it. Okay, first I'm just going to talk about the overall fit and finish of the gun. The gun is very well put together, very well fit. I mean, it's not going to be that super precise of the Ed Brown, but still very well put together. Better than my Colts, actually. Slightly better. I wouldn't say much better, but a little better fit at the box sides of my Colts. The scallops here, really nice. I really like this pattern, and it's also here. Gives you a really good grip on the gun. It's got the scales across the top. Very well done. Every part of this gun is very well finished. It's got a very nice satin finish on it. Now, it's not that finish, the satin finish that's on the matte finish that's on the Ed Brown. The way I kind of relate them is I'd say the Ed Brown is like silk, and this is more like velvet, if you're comparing the two textures of the steel. Now, I could give this one that silk finish if I wanted to. I would just take some 80 grit glass bead and buff it down, blast it down, but I really like this. I actually prefer this finish to the silky finish. I had that silky finish on some of my guns that I've hand finished, like my Detonics, and I actually like this finish better. It has a little different feel to it. They're both really nice, but I like this one for a change. Like the grips on it. I like everything about it. The trigger is a nice match grade aluminum trigger. Full length guide rod. As you can see there, match grade barrel, full length guide rod, very tightly fit. There's no side to side wobble. There's no play in the gun. There's absolutely no barrel play at all. No barrel play at all. Very well fit barrel. And as you know, that fit is way more important than that fit, even though it's good on both ends. Your sights are aligned with your slide, so your accuracy is going to depend on how well your barrel is locked to your sight and your slide. Now, if you're shooting it out of a bench rest or out of a vise, well, yeah, slide frame would have a minimal effect on accuracy, but when you're shooting out of hand, it's going to have no effect because you're lining up the sights. As long as the barrel is aligned with the frame, you're set and good to go. But like I said, overall fit and finish of the gun is excellent. Just love the texture. The edges are beveled and filed over. You can see everything has been softened on the edges. There's no sharp edges on here. Just a very nice satiny finish everywhere. The texturing is just really good. The grips are really good. The only thing I would say about any of it is I'm not crazy about the black trigger. I don't know why they blacked the trigger. But otherwise, fit and finish are excellent on this gun. Now let's just discuss the overall build quality of the gun. Just really well put together. All the parts are nice. All the parts are made of a good material. The only real complaint I got is that it does come with a plastic mainspring housing, and I am going to change that out. I'm actually going to get an Ed Brown mainspring housing put in there, change that out. Other than that, like I say, $1,400 difference. For $1,400 difference, I can make this gun have the features I wanted with the Ed Brown. If I wanted to, I could even match this up to where this was as tight in the back. I would just have to file this down a little bit, but I'm not going to bother with that. It doesn't bother me that much. There are some MEM pieces inside, but they are low stress pieces, which you could replace if you wanted. I'm not going to bother because they're just a couple of pieces and they are low stress. They're still steel, and they're not really under any real physical danger of breaking, so I don't see any reason to replace them. But otherwise, build quality, excellent. Some of the design features on the gun, ambidextrous safety, night sights, like I said earlier, the scallops across the top, which reduces reflection when you're getting a sight picture, the scales, I mean, just excellent put together gun. Couldn't get much better. I mean, you can, like I say, could pay $1,400 more and get a slightly better gun. The Ed Brown is going to be better finished, but is it going to be a better performer? This one actually, 1/4 inch smaller groups at 30 yards out of a vise than the Ed Brown. Ed Browns are tight and they're great, but they're really accurate. But I also did some reading online, and I noticed some people had the same thing where their Ed Brown executive carry was just a little bit less accurate than their other guns. And I've had my Colt outshoot an Ed Brown before too. So tight doesn't always mean super accurate. You can have the tightest slide to frame fit ever right here, and if you've got just the slightest little play in your barrel, that'll make more of a difference in your accuracy than the frame to slide fit. But still, that Ed Brown, amazing gun. This is, I'm not going to say this is as good a gun as the Ed Brown because it's just not. It's not finished as well. Doesn't have the attention to detail the Ed Brown does. Does have the full-length guide rod, which the Ed Brown doesn't, so it is a more of a modern design. But when you're paying that extra money for the Ed Brown, you are paying for luxury. But the only problem is when you do pay for something like that with an Ed Brown, you're also paying somebody's salary. You don't, all that extra money, that extra $1,400 doesn't buy you $1,400 more gun. Probably buys you a few $100 more gun, and then you're paying a gunsmith's salary for a day's worth of work. And you can't get that handmade quality unless you're willing to pay for it. So, but this gun comes damn close, and for well under half the price. This is a gun I'm considering carrying. I'm actually considering going back to carrying a 1911, which I'll get into in another video. But just overall, for anyone who wanted to see a good look at the gun, it's just a really nicely made gun, very nicely put together. And so I know you can see the serial number there. I don't care. I don't understand why people get upset about people seeing the serial numbers on their gun. What's someone going to do? Go report it stolen? Well, you bought the gun. You can prove it. So if they report it stolen, they've committed a felony. They're going to be the ones that go to jail, not you. So I've never understood why people are so worried about that. But just a beautiful gun. The roll markings on the frame are just excellent. I mean, that is just excellent roll marks. I have to say the Ed Brown had some excellent roll marks on the frame too. But I mean, just really nice. No laser etching. I hate when they do a nice gun and they ruin it with some laser etching. This gun does not have that problem. Hasn't been ruined with laser etching. Hasn't been uglied up. Believe it or not, that's the reason I got rid of my Dan Wessons, is because they always have the name laser etched right here on the slide. I don't like laser etching. That's one of my own little pet peeves. But this gun doesn't have that. It's just beautiful. It's just really well made. It feels solid in your hand. It's one of the most beautiful 1911s I've ever seen. I love that scallop across the top. So all in all, glad I purchased it.